Hey, this is Izzy Lemons, and you're listening to the Unlimited Podcast, where we help you maximize your creativity. Thanks for tuning in. Now let's get into it. What is going on? Welcome to episode 1 of the Unlimited Podcast. Look, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being curious enough to click on this podcast and listen to what I have to say. I promise I will not waste your time. Speaking of not wasting your time, I'm just going to go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Izzy Lemons. I'm a guitarist, a producer, a recording engineer, a mixing and mastering engineer, and now officially a podcaster. Okay. So thank you for tuning in. It's nice to meet you. Most times when people introduce themselves, the last thing that they start to talk about is what they have. I'm going to start there. One of the things that I have is love for creatives. Okay. I love y'all who can think differently, so far outside of the box that it's not even a box anymore. Y'all can come up with just amazing ideas and bring them into reality with the gifts that you've been given. I have a special love for y'all. Look, y'all have a whole different thing going on, man, and I love it. So I have love for y'all. Another thing I have is experience as a creative. Like I said, I'm a guitarist, a music producer, a mix engineer, a mastering engineer. I've had a lot of experiences over the past few years. I've had a lot of great successes and some really great failures. And through that, I've learned a bunch of stuff. And so the third thing that I have is wisdom to share about the creative experience. Look, I ain't fail and not get nothing from it. Okay. So I want to make sure that I share that with you and make sure that you can grow from it as well. So if you're here, you're probably wondering, what is unlimited artistry? Well, in short, unlimited artistry is hope for the creative. Okay. Unlimited artistry is hope for the creative, but it's not just, this podcast is not just for creatives. If you do anything where you have to think of new ideas and come up with different ways to accomplish a goal or to get a task done, I promise you'll get something from here if you stick on long enough. So what do we believe? Okay. Let me tell you, have you ever been to the airport and by security, they have those little kiosks where people go up and they scan their eyes and they scan their fingerprints so that they can get through security faster? Well, that's because they're taking your fingerprints and they're scanning your, what is it, the iris? Yeah, but they're scanning your fingerprints because every person has a different thumbprint, a different index fingerprint. There's nobody else that has the same exact fingerprints as you. I believe the same thing when it comes to creativity. Everyone has a creative identity, and that is your personal thumbprint that is on everything that you create, every idea that you come up with, and it's super important. My goal is to maximize that in your life. And I believe that we've been gifted creative gifts from the ultimate creator, right? We were made in his image. So that's a big deal, y'all. Look, as a creative, I'm super familiar with the cycle of emotions and self-doubt that's just associated with being a creative, right? And the whole world knows that there are memes that exist online about it, specifically even for producers too, just how we always up and down and we go through the cycle and we're like, man, these beats suck. And then the next day you'll feel like the greatest producer of all time. And who do you think that is? I'm curious. Leave that in the comments somewhere, or, send me an email, whatever you got to do. I'm curious as to what your thoughts are. But all of that, it's true. We can be up and down as creatives, and it's because we don't have the proper foundation. Look, there was a point in my life where everything that I had was built upon music. I was a performing guitarist since the age of 11. I had been interested in music before that as a young kid. I ventured into music production and recording and engineering as I entered into high school. I even went to college for music. I graduated from Bowie State with my bachelor's degree in music technology. Whoop, whoop, college grad, you know what I'm saying? And even to this day, music is a huge part of my life. But I reached a season where my ability to do music was in question. And so my logic at that time was, if music is my life and I can't do music, then I can't do life. And that period got so dark and deep that I contemplated suicide, all because of music. And thankfully, I'm still here to tell the story about it. But I'd started filling that hole. I started filling those holes within me with other things, like with alcohol, with smoking, with girls, with pornography, and it just clicked one day. It felt like God had showed me something different. And I realized I don't know who I am outside of music. And I began to learn what God calls me, what God says about me, my identity in Christ. And that path just started to straighten, and I started to accomplish more and more things. But look, if you can relate to any part of that, you are in the right place. We're going to build that back up in you through everything that we're sharing here. Look, it is my goal, it is my passion to make sure that you can maximize your creative identity. On top of all of that, we're here for you as the creative, but we are still a music production company that can help you bring your ideas to life. Thank you so much for tuning into this first episode. I hope that you got a good sense of who we are in this brief introduction. Look, please feel free to follow us on Instagram at Unlimited Artistry. Again, that's at Unlimited Artistry. You can also visit our website to purchase services for music production or to share your story. You can visit the website at unlmtdartistry.com. Again, that's unlmtdartistry.com. You know, I'm a musician. I had to make it a little bit rhythmic. But most importantly, please make sure you share this information, share the podcast, share the website, share the page, all those kinds of things. We cannot hold on to this information for ourselves. We got to make sure other people are able to get free from this. So if you know somebody, a creative that can benefit from this, shoot this link to them, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.